Hello YouTubers, welcome to today's YieldLabs YouTube video. Please consider subscribing to our channel, hit the like button if you enjoy our content, and last but not least, don't forget that you can hit the bell icon to get notified when we release new videos for the latest and greatest crypto yield generation content.
Okay. All right. So we've got something a little bit different today. We're very fortunate to have Dan Howard here from Recap and also Steve as well from YieldLabs. So thank you both for taking the time today. We really, we're aware that kind of tax is a very sensitive topic, and it's actually very difficult to kind of collate your taxes and what to report on, what are the rules in different jurisdictions and stuff. So we're super excited to have Dan here. Recap's a product that I've used myself, and it's very like it's US and UK focused in terms of the stuff that's on there, but I'm sure they're expanding as well. Dan can touch on that. So do you want to just give a quick introduction, Steve, into yourself? Obviously, my name's Kevin. I'm the founder of YieldLabs. Steve, do you want a quick introduction, and then we'll let Dan have the floor?
Yeah, of course. Steve Bradford. Kevin and I are obviously brothers. Very similar crypto backgrounds to Kevin. Involved with Celsius early days, crypto since 2017, and been heavily involved in building the Celsius community over the last few years, and obviously moved into YieldLabs. Spend a lot of my time working on social outreach for YieldLabs, setting up meetings like we have today with Dan, and just trying to offer the best content to the community over all of our social media platforms.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan. So Dan, do you mind introducing yourself and letting the audience know who you are, and then we can jump into Recap. We're really excited to kind of touch on this platform. I know a lot of people are kind of confused with this topic, and I think your offering is a lot of features that are kind of unavailable in anything else, and I think they'll be really excited. So if you just a quick introduction, if you don't mind.
Sure. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Steve. So I'm Dan. I'm CEO and co-founder of Recap. We are a cryptocurrency portfolio tracking, analytics, and tax reporting platform. We like to think of ourselves as a platform that can get your crypto taxes sorted. So we're primarily focused on the UK market. We connect to a number of exchanges, wallets, or even CSVs that you can put into Recap. We calculate your tax position in minutes.
Yeah, that's really cool, because I used when I first started putting a reasonable amount of money into the market, I was kind of very confused, and then I stumbled across your product really early, and I like the way that you kind of documented the HMRC piece. And for people who don't know who HMRC are, that are from abroad, it's kind of the government body in the UK for tax collections. I think it's a bit like the IRS in the US. So basically, yeah, that you really took the time to kind of like productize and write down and make it very simple for people to kind of just understand like the regulation in that area, and then kind of how your product fits in. And then the API connections are very nice, and the development on like your API tools and the reports that are printed out are very, very cool. I really like that. So you guys have obviously spent a lot of time developing that, and maybe you could tell us a bit about kind of the journey, like how did this come about, and how did you build the product up to what it is today?
Sure, yeah. So as I'm sure you can appreciate, getting your head around crypto taxes, it's quite a difficult thing to get your head around. And I like to call crypto taxes the brick wall, and the brick wall hit me in 2017 when I was trying to get my tax position sorted. I'd done a number of trades. I needed to file a capital gains tax return, and I literally couldn't find any software service that would support the UK market. So there was an instant gap in the market there. And the other thing I was really concerned about is that in order to use a crypto tax platform, our competitors, I'd have to give them everything: my trade history, API keys, wallet addresses, and that effectively allows them to know exactly what my portfolio value is. And we are aware of some of our competitors that are selling that information on to third parties, even hedge funds that are using that information to trade against you in the market. So we believe there was a better way to track your portfolio and manage your taxes. And we set out in building this privacy-focused product where you can track your portfolio in real time. Your tax position flows in real time as well, so you know where you stand. And not even we at Recap can see your data. And that allows you to make the decision of, are you going to file a tax return? Do you need to file a tax return? That takes that emphasis away from us. It's all in your control. and it makes us the most secure crypto tax platform on the market. So we got started in 2018. We were very lucky to win a Innovate UK grant from the UK government, 135k grant to build out the first iteration of Recap. We partnered with a leading accountancy firm in our local area. So we're actually based in Lincoln in the UK. And we partnered with an accountancy firm here in Lincoln called Wright Vigar. They've helped us understand the capital gains tax rules. They've back tested the entire solution. They've helped us develop UK tax guides, which has really set the foundations of the product. This isn't something that we've just developed as a team of 4 and not really had any tax input or accountancy input. We've worked in partnership to make sure that the calculations are right and correct. After the grant, we raised a small amount of funding from some high net worth investors, and we got their cryptocurrency tax position sorted. So it was a great, kind of a great story for them in that we got their tax position sorted and they invested in us and backed us. And now we're in a position where we're scaling. So we support the UK market, we support a number of integrations, 18 integrations, Kraken, Coinbase, Binance, Celsius. We're expanding our scope of integrations, and we're looking at moving into new jurisdictions. So we've just started a US tax offering. We're looking at South Africa, Australia, and potentially some of the EU states as well moving forward.
Yeah, that's really cool. I really like it. Like, kind of, there's 2 ways to kind of approach this crypto market, isn't there? There's kind of the let's build something and exit quick and just build the minimal viable product, like, i.e. let's just monetize the data, give it all away, take all the quick money that we could take. Or there's kind of the product, the way that you've done it, which is probably the get rich it take a lot longer to basically to build your product and get a meaningful value and stuff behind it, just because you're not willing to just give that and compromise that data. Just and these data sets are like obviously like oil at the moment. They're just so liquid, and they're so there's just so much value in those data sets. So basically, like, I didn't even realize what you said about like hedge funds trading that. I never even thought about that data set. Is crazy, right? They could just basically get a quant to analyze those whole data sets and then basically just work out behavior and then work out a bot to kind of counter trade that data, which is crazy, right? So
you've also got, I was going to say, you've also got like the issue of like extortionists, right? So if somebody works out one of your Bitcoin addresses or whatever, if all of that information is collected on Recap and that data is compromised, they can pull up that thread and they can kind of uncover your entire portfolio. They'll know exactly what you're worth, where you trade, when you trade, what you trade. So, in this market where you have self-custody of your assets, privacy and security is paramount. I literally can't envisage us building Recap in any other way, because this data is just so sensitive. And this is why we've gone for this, end-to-end encrypted approach, similar to how WhatsApp works. It's the ultimate way to secure this level of data.
Yeah, and so I think it's really cool that you've taken that longer term approach, and then kind of, I think they're doing well and doing good thing at the same time. Is definitely something that we try and do, not charging for content up front, not getting paid by Recap to do these videos. We just do them because we want to do them. And then kind of, the follow on is that, okay, these guys are legit and stuff. So there's always using that longer term approach. I think it's really cool. And I think it's great that your product's built that way. So yeah, it's almost like limitless in terms of where you can take this into new markets. And obviously it's just resource and time for, you need specific expertise in each area and different stuff. So it's pretty crazy. And also, like, I think this is one of the first ones I've seen that does the yield element as well. So we are seeing like there's different platforms that kind of just work out kind of from exchanges, just trades, but this one also, you have the Celsius integration, which is really, really cool. And I don't think Celsius has done a good enough job of kind of promoting that. I don't think they've even promoted it at all. So like, we'll definitely try and help you with that you can basically, for those people in the UK, okay, the UK signups have just been shut off, which is a shame, but it's not going to just end there, right? There's other avenues, and that you can basically do that just easily and work out the yield and income tax that's due on those positions. So that's really cool. And that's, I think, probably the future of this platform, where you can basically just enable people just to plug in things very easily and then just work out these numbers.
Yeah, I mean, we ultimately see ourselves as not a crypto tax platform. We see ourselves as a wealth management platform. for this, very new market. And obviously tax is probably, one of the biggest kind of impacts to your wealth in this new market as well. So if you can proactively manage your tax position, do things like cutting your losses, rolling forward any losses onto your capital gains tax reports, and managing your exposure to high risk assets, we can make all that information visible in Recap, so you can take control of your portfolio, and really benefit from this change in long-term generational wealth that that we're seeing. There's kind of a number of other ways we can look at this as well. There's the potential for Recap to be integrated into lots of different crypto products and services directly. So we're very keen on supporting some of the the cryptocurrency exchanges in generating tax reports on behalf of their customers. We've also got this vision that if we can account for your entire portfolio, you can track your tax position, you can see what you're worth in real time, then why wouldn't we let you buy cryptocurrency within Recap itself? So that is something we're going to be looking at moving forward as well.
So how many do you have in your team at the moment then, right? Because that just building this whole ecosystem is going to take a little bit of time, and then obviously the funding as well. You've already mentioned that you have some decent investment already, and so how many do you have in the team now, and kind of where do you see that going over the next 12 months?
Sure. So we're a very, very small team. We're a team of 4. I'm actually one of the software engineers that have built Recap. My co-founder, Ben, he's CTO of the business. He's basically architected the entire product. Ben is probably one of the best software engineers I've ever worked with. I've worked with Ben over the last 10 years. We've both worked for some, your major companies, Centrica, BAE Systems, as software engineers. So we're capable of achieving a lot with, little resources. But now is coming to that point where we do need to dramatically scale. So we are raising an investment round at the moment. You can find us on BankToTheFuture. This investment round will enable us to scale up and add 3 more staff to our team. We're expecting a bumper UK tax season this year. So November, December, January, we're expecting a lot of revenue to come into Recap as a result of the cryptocurrency bull market. And off the back of that growth, we're planning on launching a much larger VC round to really go for growth. And we're really excited because we do actually have something really unique in that we have this privacy-focused platform that nobody else has, and we've got a core differentiator there. And we think this can scale globally. We can help people all over the world track their portfolio in real time in a secure workspace.
And I think that the values of kind of Recap kind of definitely align with what we're doing. We really try and be unbiased and not just promote products that are sound. If there's 2 offerings or 3 offerings, let's make a fair comparison of them all and different things. So I think that privacy feature is amazing. I actually didn't realize when I first signed up to the platform that was a feature. I was just happy enough back then just to have anybody just to do this calculation for me. So I was just I don't really care about the privacy. But now I'm kind of a bit more mature from an investor and kind of understand, and we've had a lot more time to digest what's going on. I think that's a major selling point for your platform. And I think so where does your revenue come from? I guess it's subscriptions for the service itself, and then you probably can productize the platform in different ways too, right?
Sure, yeah. We charge an annual subscription to the service. It's based on the number of transactions that you've made in your portfolio. That's how we kind of ratchet the tiers. We've got some secondary revenue streams where we can refer you, if you've got a complex tax situation, we can refer you to a good accountant, and we do take referral fees on that. But primarily it's subscriptions, yeah.
Yeah, so it's there's infinite ways that you can kind of scale this platform, and I guess you're probably not doing too much marketing it now because you just don't have the time. So then you can kind of ramp that up when you've got more teams. So it's probably only an upward trajectory from here. And this is why I kind of quit my career in telecommunications. It was fairly lucrative, but I was just it was just kind of coming to a plateau or downward trend. And that's what I love about crypto. It's just infinite, it's just up only on basically every single metric. It's almost impossible to see Recap, plateauing in users. There's just so much demand for your product and so much demand, like you say, and there's going to be a huge influx in tax season, and there's going to be more scrutiny from regulators, which is, that's good as well. So it's just amazing to like think of the potential for this platform. And we kind of look at like some of the other acquisitions like Blockfolio is acquired, and basically all these applications you use day to day, they all just eventually the logo just changes on your phone. You're like, oh, what's happened here? And then they're acquired by FTX or somebody else. So I think it doesn't take a genius to work out that there's probably going to be some interest in kind of your platform, and there probably has been, I would imagine already, from an acquisition standpoint, in kind of bolting that into an exchange or bolting that into some other service. I'm sure you've got other ideas as well that I have not even thought of from an exit standpoint from the company. But obviously you're not just doing it for a quick exit, but it's nice to see that there's a roadmap to kind of the business valuation, and especially for the BankToTheFuture investors.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we've had some early interest in the company. Don't get me wrong, but we're in this for the long run, right? We're in this for building something that anybody can use in any country. See any data. We've got this unbiased approach to our users in supporting them in having a cryptocurrency portfolio. We don't envisage exiting anytime soon, but when we do exit, we do offer something quite unique, and that we've got this privacy focused platform that is very different to the competition. We've just seen one of our competitors, TaxBit, they've just raised 130 billion in their latest investment round, 130 million, sorry, not billion, but they're valued at over $1 billion now. And in their previous investment round only 3 months ago, they raised $100 million. So you can kind of see the need for the platform, and the value and the business value within crypto tax solutions. And we think that's going to come to a headwind, right? You've got all these applications that can track your portfolio, calculate your tax position, but they can see all of your data. And people in crypto are, crypto came about for a reason. It came out of the cypherpunk movement. Privacy is security, people owning their own assets. Crypto is digital property rights that people can't take away from you. And we're trying to keep to our fundamentals, the fundamentals of crypto, in that you can keep all of your financial data in recap. You can have custody over it. Nobody else can take that away from you. Nobody else can see it. So you can manage your portfolio completely in private. And I think eventually, maybe the regulators, maybe the tax authorities, maybe they come after some of the competitors to recap in order to access customer data. Hackers, extortionists, we've got these crypto tax platforms that are massive honeypots of information that they can use against you as well. And that's not a problem for us, because we've got a system that is very similar to WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal.
Yeah, I think it'd be great if we could take like a deeper dive in another session one day, like onto kind of the technology stack that you've built and kind of how that looks and sits. But I think we keep it very high level for today. But that'd be really interesting content, and just kind of understand how the architecture behind it. Obviously, you can't give us everything, but just from a high level perspective, kind of what does that look like, and how does that differ from other? And it's almost like we've seen this movie many times, right? Like as you mentioned, kind of the extortion and the centralized thing, and then it's just the same with exchanges, it's the same with everything else, and it just kind of, it's going to happen with these tax platforms. The data set's going to, we've seen it with Ledger, we've seen it with, it's just the same thing over and over. So the fact that you're kind of trying to mitigate those risks as much as possible, people just don't seem to care about kind of where they're getting this information from, and I was the same at the beginning. But when you really start to think about what these things are, these data sets and stuff, I think it's great that you're taking that approach from the beginning. So yeah, I think it's exciting, the BankToTheFuture round. We're trying to feature the decent BankToTheFuture round offerings, the ones that we see as key kind of infrastructure for an equity portfolio. We're not providing investment advice on YieldLabs, but we're basically just always trying to building a high quality equity portfolio. So let's have some lending platforms, let's have some banking platforms, let's have tax software platforms, and basically the ability to use the BankToTheFuture platform just to basically create one of these well-rounded portfolios. And I think your company probably fits in there somewhere. It's really cool, and it's very encouraging, because I think that the BankToTheFuture due diligence is quite. I think they have a lot more companies sign up or try to get on the platform than actually ever make it. So I think for you to get past that test is really promising too. So I think the future is very bright for your platform. We're going to have an affiliate link if everybody wants to use it, so you'll be able to get a discount off the recap. I think we give 20%. Is that correct, Dan? Off a subscription with the recap if anyone wants to use it.
Sure, yeah. So we've got a built-in refer a friend mechanism. Anybody can create a referral link to give 20% off to their friends. So we can create one for this community. And we also offer 20% commission as well. You know, we want the community to work for us. You know, if you find Recap it as a useful product, refer your family and friends, and we incentivize you to do that.
Yeah, that's cool. And any commissions that kind of YieldLabs receive, we like to push that back into our community. We're not just taking these commissions. So it's very much just funds what we're doing, more outreach, more content, more education, and then we can push it all the way through. So use the link if you want to use it. If you don't want to use it, go to the platform directly. And I think this demo from memory, that you can download a demo. There's a free account tier, isn't there? That you can basically download, just like connect one or two APIs or have certain amounts of lines of transactions just for free and test the reporting functionality as well. I think you can do that.
Yeah, sure.
Correct.
So we don't charge anything up front. So you can use Recap today. You can connect your Celsius account or Kraken, Binance, Coinbase. And we calculate your tax position. So we can tell you what your net capital gain is for each tax year completely for free. It's only up until the point where you need a tax report that we charge for the service. Okay,
cool. Yeah, so play around with it if you're from the UK. Is it America, the other main market that you go after at the moment? Yeah, the two.
It is, yeah. Primarily we're UK focused. You know, we're based in the UK. We've built this for the UK market. We built this to scratch our own itch. We needed this ourselves as co-founders. So, you know, this isn't, you know, a company in the US that now has a UK proposition. This is built in the UK, built for the UK market. Although we have started scaling out into new jurisdictions.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's amazing potential. So just one final couple of questions, just on the Banks of the Future piece. Like, what is your current valuation now? I know that the offering is to priority members only, so this video will have to come out after, because obviously we want to just keep that sensitive for the priority members. And if you don't have those Banks of the Future tokens, it's really worth picking up the allocation so you can get the 48-hour you know, bonus and a head start on the. So what is your current valuation and kind of how much were you looking to raise?
Sure. So raise 600K. So this is around geared towards getting the community involved in Recap. We did not want this to be a VC round. We wanted to get BankToTheFuture customers using Recap, the wider community that are generating yield, right? We want to help get your cryptocurrency tax position sorted. And we want you to be able to come on our journey with us, you know, give us feedback, help us improve the product, and we've got your back in getting your taxes sorted.
Cool. Yeah. So I think that's great. I really love it when you know, there's so much. I always say, like, food on the table for everyone to eat. So why not just open it up? You know, the potential for these platforms is kind of infinite in terms of valuations, and especially with the money printing, the valuations are just going through the roof on all the exits. So like, why not just get the community in? You know, it's very generous for you to take that extra step, because I know it's a lot of work and it's a lot of admin and form filling and different things. And like you say, you're a small team, so to let people in, and then kind of those to be the, you know, people feel like they're part of the journey. Okay, this is a really cool product. I saw it. I personally invested. This is not advanced financial advice, but I really enjoyed the experience using the platform. It was very seamless and smooth and slick. So, and I was like, yeah, of course, I want to get a piece of that company. That's really cool, and something I'll, you know, almost come on the journey with you a little bit and just kind of watch how you develop and almost celebrate the wins with you. So I think that's really nice that you took the time to do that. So have you got any other comments, Steve, or anything for Dan before we wrap it up?
I think you've covered most things. And I think at YieldLabs, we don't really offer financial advice. That's not what we do. It's educational content. But when it comes to tax, you know, we do, you know, financial advice, do pay your taxes. It needs to be done. And I think tools like this are almost crucial to doing so, because it can be a daunting exercise from trying to work out what you owe to then realizing how much you owe, to then actually filing the paperwork to get it paid. The process can be quite daunting if you're you're new to it, and a lot of people will be new to it. So, Recap is going to be an excellent tool to make that easier for you. And if you pay your taxes and do what you need to do, then I think that's certainly the best way to tackle it. I think head on, and don't play ignorance to it.
Yeah, I think like the whole reason we come into this space is kind of earn passive income, is to build portfolios and create generational wealth, like Dan said. So basically, and then to do that and to not sleep at night is pretty stupid, right? So let's just pay the obligation and then just like rest easy at night, or go and live in a tax-friendly jurisdiction, or whatever you've got to do to make it work for you and within your boundaries. So any final comments, Dan? But on the whole, I think that was very valuable for our community, and we're very excited about the project. We'll let you have the final word.
Sure. So yeah, I just want to echo what Steve said, basically, in that we're not a tax accountancy firm. We're not tax advisors. We're a tax calculation service, and we would always advocate getting your cryptocurrency taxes filed via an accountant. And that might sound expensive, but it really isn't if you use a tool like Recap and invest the time. So your accountant has to, they don't have to do any bookkeeping, basically. You can present them with a report that breaks down all of your portfolio, what you've done over the last tax year. And that's relatively inexpensive. If you don't take the Recap approach and you go to an accountant, you can be talking like, tens of thousands of pounds for people that have big portfolios. So Recap can help tie all of that together into a presentable report that you can send to your accountant.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to share the website. No, I'm not, because of my screen share, but we'll leave it at that. I'll share some screenshots after, and we can have a look at different things as well, at the portfolio, the reports in our community calls, and we'll share that with our community. And anyone that wants to join Recap, go over to the website as well, or use the affiliate link. We'll leave all the links in the description. So thank you both for taking the time today, and especially Dan for the short notice for coming on here. We're very keen to follow the BankToTheFuture around. Hopefully that allocation gets filled quickly for you. I think it will, because it seems like a sensible valuation. And yeah, thank you very much.
Cool. My pleasure, guys. Cheers.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan. Good luck.
Cheers.
That is a wrap on today's video, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We hope the content was useful in helping you get a better grasp on yield generation in this space. Hop on over to Twitter and follow us at YieldLabs for updates and more.